You're listening to KUNM 89.9 FM, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, KUNM.org. And we are here in Studio A, Ramon Garcia's engineering with assistance by Marshall Broyle. Thanks to Jessica Allen for production and our multimedia wizard, Renata Bonney. And we have the band Dymer here in the studio, and it consists of Johnny Mouche on lead vocals, Tom Burton on drums, Mark Vasquez on guitar and background vocals, Ken Chavez on guitar and background vocals, and James Alexander on bass. And their album from last year is called The End Is Always Nigh. The End Is Never Now. We're going to talk about that. And they've got a few more albums out there. You can check them out on Bandcamp with Dymer Band. That's Dymer Band, as well as Instagram under that name and dymerband.com. And welcome, you all. Thanks for coming in here. And what are you going to start us off with?
Thanks for having us. This first song is called Fade. It's off of our first record.
You talk about young adulthood, and here is where you're introducing intimacy versus isolation. Now, presumably you're saying that as the individual grows beyond getting to that problem, then he now can move beyond that into this kind of intimacy.
I erase. We'll just ignore it until we nothing for the rise. It's all that I erase. So we'll this next song is about a lady that I'm very fond of. Sorry, I was looking at Ken. It's not Ken. I'm also fond of. I'm fond of Ken, but this is not about Ken.
It's a different fondness.
Yeah, very different. Yep. You took me by surprise, you placed this late at night. I don't think twice. Arms length away, the laughter dies. A phone call broke the silence. Now I'm sleeping on your floor while you're fighting feelings like a war. And I awoke from a dream where we're amputees who love the limbs we leave. But if your love is just a phantom limb, I can be prosthetic for you, darling. And I may never feel like the real thing, but I want to see you reach for something more. You know as well as I the pain of severing what's intertwined, scarring every soul that lost a universe in someone else's bones. It takes a toll when star-crossed constellations, patterns are opposed. And if you don't let go, you'll never hold a hand that's not a ghost. And if your love is just a phantom limb, I can be prosthetic for you, darling. I may never feel like the real thing, but I want to see you reach for something more. I may not be the one, but at least I know what I want. All I am right now is open arms. Like I don't know what you need, be alone to breathe. I'm here to hold that space between. No more passive good intention or voyeuristic indiscretion. Hear and take, embrace the tension. Just a limb that learned its lesson. Found our feet and shifting sands and fell inside of tight rope strands. If you're reaching out, I'll reach right back. You gotta open up your shaking hands. And if your love is just a phantom limb, I can be prosthetic for you, darling. I may never feel like the real thing, but I wanna see you reach for something. And I may not be the one, but at least I know what I want. All I am right now is open arms. Like I don't know what you need, but be alone to breathe. I'm here to hold that space between.
You've been listening to Dymer here on KUNM 89.9 FM, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, KUNM.org. And that was James Alexander on bass, Tom Burton on drums, Mark Vasquez and Ken Chavez on guitar, and Johnny Mouche on lead vocals. And we heard Fade from their debut album, Empty Space, and Prosthetic was a single from 2024. So from that debut album to 2024, there's a pandemic in there. There's a lot of things that happen. Is this the band, the original Dymer, and has it gone through a lot of changes? Who's come and gone, and has that changed the band at all?
Yes. So this is a different band than the OG Dymer. This particular group has amalgamated, starting with Tom, then Mark, then James, and then Ken, starting in 2022, post-pandemic. Basically, when we started initially, we started sort of right at the tail end of 2016, me and my two friends, Matt Moore on drums and Luke Sowers on guitar. Did our best before the pandemic, and then 2019, sort of gradually played less and less, and then the pandemic hit, and that was kind of that. But I wanted to revive it, and this is a wonderful, wonderful group that I am incredibly thankful to have.
Yeah, y'all are tight. So a song like Fade that was originally conceived with another band, is it much different now, or is it the spirit of it sounds... or is there kind of mutations that have happened?
I say yes to both. So, as someone that wasn't part of the original crew, I had to kind of bring in my own flavor, but also respect the original recording and the original band. I think to most people it probably sound pretty close, but I think we could all kind of identify our own little twists that we add to it to make it kind of our own.
Yeah. Dymer in the studio right now, and you can follow them on Instagram at Dymer Band, as well as Bandcamp, and that is their website as well, dymerband.com. Your most recent album, The End Is Always Nigh, The End Is Never Now, came out last year. Where did you end up recording that?
So we recorded the drums at Empty House Studio with Matthew Tobias. And then everything else, we
did at my house.
Did at my
house. That's the voice of Mark Vasquez.
Hello.
That you heard. So, and Mark, you were doing the mixing and production, and all that kind of stuff.
It was a labor of love, but it was very cool. We got to turn my home into a little makeshift studio for about a year, and it had its ups and downs, but it was very cool being very intimate with the whole process. So I've been dabbling with that for a long time. James and I used to be in a band back in high school, and we used to do that. So it felt like a natural continuation of that hobby.
Tom, where did they have your drum set in the house?
In whose house?
In Mark's house for recording.
No drums in Mark's house.
That was all.
That was all done at Empty House.
It was at another house.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a very cohesive album, but that sounds like different things happening in different places. When did your drums come into it?
That was the first thing we laid down, so we made sure to get that out of the way, and then I spent a year doing nothing.
Tom did his part in a day and a half.
Yeah.
And the rest of us took a year.
And all the gear you left up, or are you breaking down and setting back up, Mark?
Mostly left it up. The only things we really kept up were like amps I had in a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of whenever we had a chance to record with, do a few hours here and there.
And then who did the artwork for that album cover?
That was sort of me, and then our friend Millie Martinez, who's in Hula Ghost. We just I had an idea to just sort of make like a collage of a bunch of famous Renaissance paintings, either having to do with heaven, hell, or the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. What is that one that kind of spirals down? That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the main.
I thought it looked familiar. I
Yes.
was like, there's something about this.
The main
right.
one with the sun in the middle is very famous, and the name is escaping me right now. The only one that I can think of that's on there is the Mouth of Hell, but that's not the main piece.
So Heaven and Hell, is that worked into the lyrics any way as far as the latest album?
Yeah, so I'd say the main thesis of the latest album was sort of a reconciliation of two major themes of my life at that point, which was sort of coming off a long bout of deconstructing faith. I grew up very evangelical and very focused on the end times in our household, and I just had a lot of time to reflect on how that worldview kind of affected the way that I grew up and viewed the world, and then combining that with coming off the heels of a divorce and trying to kind of blend the themes of apocalypse and feeling like everything was ending in the world and in personal relationships and worldview, really. So.
Oh, okay. Now, after listening to the album all day, now a lot of things are falling into place. I love that. All right. Can we have you all play another 3 songs? And
yes.
You guys can tell us about them as we go along if you want.
Sounds good.
You all are listening to the band Dymer here at KUNM Studio A with Ramon Garcia engineering and assistance by Marshall Broyle. We had production assistance by Jessica Allen, and Renata Bonney is our multimedia wizard. And Dymer, take it away.
Talking to the sky, wishing that she had your lips. Drive around the city, burning with a martyr's grip. Round the highway, locusts and videotapes. Mirage in the sky, thought it was the end of days. But all I wanna hear is we're safe, we're fine. The worst was rapture and we'll never die. There's no glory in goodbye. The worst was rapture and I'm left behind. Oh. 70 weeks and 7s in the way we speak. Succeeded to the 6s, slowly we became the beast. And it said when we die there's no husbands or wives, so I guess we're that much closer to the kingdom tonight. All the trials and tribulations we caught that we created wouldn't call the second coming of Christ. We're safe, we're fine. The worst was rapture and we'll never die. There's no glory in goodbye. The worst was rapture and I'm left behind. Rapture and I'm left behind. And I watch you disappear each day into thin air. And I try to reach you, but my arms could not compare to what hell or heaven held you when I wasn't there. No saint or sinner, faithless for you. This I swear. We're safe, we're fine. The worst was rapture and we'll never die. There's no glory in goodbye. The worst was rapture and I'm left behind. Rapture and I'm left behind.
Cool. That song's called Rapture. That's actually the only one we're playing today from our new album. Everything else is deep cuts, I guess, except for the first two aren't really. But anyway, this next one's called Ouroboros.
Plenty cake with baby weight, a little slow to numb the flow of all the poison I have sown. Are you every part of me I hate? Or are you just a stubborn little snake, sucking at the heel of my mistakes? Will you slip away when I wake? Ouroboros, eat your heart out, please. You can't swallow nothing. You can't swallow me. Just leave me in the morning. Leave the living there. You're biting at your tail. You are your only enemy. Overcome, so overcome. We might be ourselves. We might greet the two with eyes like dawn from beyond. Every time and place, we will tame the strength. Fire in our blood from beyond. Every time and place, we will tame the strength. Fire in our blood. Clickety clack. All right, this next one is one we haven't played live in a super, super long time, but it's one of my personal faves, so I'm glad we're reviving it. Sorry, it's very buzzy. Good. All right. ticking time bomb won't do what it's bound to. I'm going nowhere, but you're calling me there. Lonely is a self-proclaiming preacher who was had to make me your measure. Able as an atheistic Jesus, so my temples crumbling to pieces. I'm going nowhere. You're calling me there. 'Cause I'm going nowhere. You're calling me there. You're scaring the hell out of me. Is letting heaven in. Then may I be terrified by my own emptiness. If scaring the hell out of me is letting heaven in, then may I be terrified by my own emptiness. Oh, 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 I'm going nowhere, but you're calling me there. I'm going me there.
You have just been listening to Dymer performing live in KUNM Studio A, and the band is James Alexander on bass, Ken Chazes on guitar and background vocal, Mark Vasquez on guitar and background vocal, Tom Burton drums, Johnny Mouche on lead vocals. There's so much range in those three songs. That's spanned from the last song you did, Nowhere, from your Empty Space album in 2018, your debut, and then from Storm and Shelter in 2022, Ouroboros, and then your latest stuff, Rapture, from The End Is Always Nigh, The End Is Never Now. And there's just a lot of range within the band, getting quieter, getting louder. Your vocals have a lot of different things going on. When you started singing, Johnny, was it like what was your reference point? Who are you looking to as far as, and then what did you try first, and how did you kind of expand your vocal shenanigans?
Well, my vocal shenanigans, I think the prologue is the fact that both my parents were vocalists. Before me and my siblings were born, they traveled around doing opera, and my mom is a voice teacher. So I'd already had that going for me, I guess. I did the Albuquerque Boy Choir when I was a kid, and just enjoyed singing a lot. So it started there. And then as far as trying to emulate things, just, man, like everything with the kitchen sink. I think one of the, I feel like the first vocalist that really like caught my ear and I was like, oh, this is awesome, was like Matt Bellamy from Muse. I was obsessed with Muse for a while. Maynard James Keenan from Tool I got obsessed with, and yeah, I still love those bands. And I would just, I don't know, every once in a while just trying new things out. Yeah.
Were you ever discouraged? Did you ever attempt anything and be like, whoa, that is...
I do that every day still.
Okay.
There's still things that come out of my mouth that I'm like, well, that wasn't what I was hoping for, but it was interesting.
That's healthy, though.
Yeah.
Mark and Ken on the guitars, how are you, are these guitar lines, are you talking to each other when these songs are unfolding? Like, hey, you take this part, I'll kind of take the lead here, I'll take the lead there.
Yeah, definitely that. Johnny also has a lot of good input, so he can kind of direct us and guide us when we're kind of figuring stuff out, because he has a really good ear for melody and harmony. And so Ken and I will collaborate, and then we also take up kind of different sonic spaces. So I'm a little bit more of like a hard and heavy mid-forward, and Ken's kind of like nice and light, and then kind of gets heavy too, so
yeah.
kind of works.
That's what part of what brings this, and you know, adding bass with James and Tom on drums, like it does feel, and on the albums and right here in Studio A, like there's a lot of things going on, but they're not trampling on each other, not stepping on each other. And so how are these songs unfolding? Are you coming forward with an idea with the vocals, the rhythms happening first, like the stuff from this newest album? How did it come to be?
Yeah, so each record sort of came about a little differently. I guess for this last one, the process was interesting because mostly I had a bunch of lyrics already laid out and stuff, but didn't really necessarily have a ton of idea for the melody and chord structure and just all of that. I kind of wanted to intentionally leave that a little bit open for us to figure most of the songs out that way. So we actually ended up renting an Airbnb together and hashing out most of the songs. And actually, that was right before Ken joined. So most of the parts were things that I wrote. But when she came in, there were also a few parts that she ended up just contributing organically to. So one of the songs on the record, the Dos Minutos, she played the nylon string on that and came up with that intro part that we love so dearly. So. Yeah, and she also just brought new life to a lot of the parts that I was playing too. So, yeah, and so yeah.
And you're very emotive on the mic there. And one thing I totally appreciate is a singer with good microphone control, like coming.
I had to teach him that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
I used to just eat the mic always.
Did you?
Yeah, when we were tracking, I had to be like, "Hey, Johnny, don't do that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good job, Johnny, learning, and good job, your teachers. Yeah, no, it's so important, and it allows just this massive dynamic range happen on the vocals there. So the EP that is bookended by Empty Space and The End Is Always Nigh, Storm and Shelter, are actually the full album, but that was 2 EPs originally.
Yeah. So actually, Shelter was the first EP of that series that sort of came out at the end of 2019. And both Storm and Shelter, I recorded all of those by myself. I tried to do everything myself for those. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite thing in the world, the production on it, but I'm happy I tried to do something from the ground up by myself. I don't think I'll do it again, at least in the same way. But yeah, so those kind of came from.
But they were
that
separated
period.
by a lot of time.
Yes, so Storm came out like basically right before Tom. Well, as Tom joined, because we did a EP release for that. Tom played on. So, but that was in 2022.
All right. What are your plans for this year as far as shows? Any new recordings, videos? And do you all tour? Do you get out of town? Do you hit the road? Where do you like to go? Do you have a network starting to set up elsewhere? Is it too hard with everybody's schedule?
Yeah, we just did a little mini tour in Arizona last year. That was fun. That's like the first time Dymer has done anything out of New Mexico, so that was nice. And yeah, I think we're gonna try to do that again in the fall this year as well. Hopefully, we'll probably end up doing like Colorado and somewhere else for that one. But yeah, and as far as like shows or plans. This year, we do actually have one tomorrow, but by the time this episode comes out, that will be past. So
if you have a time machine,
exactly.
Go back to the 27th of February.
Otherwise, yeah, we'll definitely be playing a few more shows this year in town, but in Albuquerque and possibly one in Santa Fe because I'm currently living in Santa Fe. But we're also going to try to release an EP by the end of the year that I've pretty much got all the demos figured out. We just need to figure out what to do with those.
Yeah. When you're playing a local bill, who do you like to play with? Who are your regular buds?
Ordinary Things.
Yeah. I was going to wear their shirt today, but it's fitting kind of weird. So.
So Charlie's it is.
Charlie's it is, repping from Las Vegas.
Yeah. What about you, Ken?
What?
What's your favorite bands to play with?
With Dymer, I probably have to also just say Ordinary Things.
We're Ordinary Things stands here.
Me too. Tom?
And then also, not to shameless self-promotion, but I like playing with Sister Baby also.
Yeah.
They were also on the record, too.
Yes, they were on the... Sister Baby was on the last track of the record.
Ken, that's another band of yours?
Yeah, I play bass in Sister Baby. I play bass in Sister Baby, so getting to play with both bands was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have recorded work out there, or where can people find that band?
Oh yeah, Sister Baby's out pretty much everywhere you find your music. You can find it there. And then several members of the band have their own separate stuff. I just love this little community.
Yeah. And Ken's also in two other metal bands. One's Spectral Decay and one's Ethereal Moon.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of bands.
They're pretty sweet.
All right, confession. Everybody else, what are your other bands?
Oh, man. I've been listening to a lot of Sinister Surfer lately. It's just a very specific and unique sound that I kind of jive with a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But James,
you're so quiet.
Hula Ghost is another really good one. They have just their own style. I feel they mix quite a few styles as well, and they're all cool people. So.
Yeah.
And I really honestly have had a lot of good times watching Almost Always Never.
Mm-hmm.
We played with them last month at Launchpad, and they absolutely blew my mind.
Yep.
And we've played with them before, but they've really evolved, so I'm really happy to see bands
That's really
do that.
cool.
Yeah.
Tom, any particular bands you like to be on the bill with?
I would also say Sister Baby and Hula Ghost. We've only shared a cover band set with them, but Dust City Opera is fantastic as well. I love those people.
Yeah. Are you talking about Night of the Living cover bands?
Yes.
So that's actually the only other time I've seen you live is covering AC/DC.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, man.
Quite impressive.
Wow.
But I must ask, what was up with the Teletubbies outfits?
Just not much thought. So
Don't worry about it.
we wanted to do something fun and easy, but we're like, dressing up as AC/DC is kind of boring.
Yeah.
And so we like to do something that's like a group effort.
Yeah.
So
it was fabulous.
Teletubbies is another iconic group.
Yeah.
So
And I gotta say, like, Ken on vocals for Big Balls. I mean, it changed
Yeah.
changed my life. Actually,
Had to.
that was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
Honestly, same.
It was a beautiful moment.
Thanks.
Dymer is in the studio. Their latest album is called "The End Is Always Nigh. The End Is Never Now." So, going back to your evangelical upbringing, Johnny Mouche, like obviously, I mean that's just wild.
Yeah, you can say that.
Would you consider yourself a religious person now, or
Not
spiritual,
really.
or
I guess vaguely spiritual now, but
Yeah.
I also, I
What-
don't know anymore.
what do your parents think of the music and the album?
Well, my dad's dead, and there's
Okay.
there's some songs about that.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, my mom likes the music, I think. I don't know if she necessarily knows where my head's at with writing certain things, but
yeah.
that's
Did she
okay.
ever? You said she was a singer. You and her and your dad were singers. Did she ever write anything? Was it all operas that were published by somebody else?
Yeah, they neither of them ever published anything. I think both of them have dabbled a little bit with trying to write their own songs, but I don't think have really performed them ever, any of their own compositions,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware.
Going back to the song you played in the middle, Ouroboros. In case people have forgotten or don't know, what is Ouroboros?
Yes, so Ouroboros is the mythical snake that eats its own tail, and is just tied up in a lot of symbology and esotericism and a lot of that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Does that make
which-
you think of anything in particular as far as
Yeah, so
emotional state? Or?
Yeah, that particular song I sort of wrote around the themes of just reflecting on just self-hatred, basically, and just that voice inside your head that puts you down and belittles your efforts, basically. And
Yeah, you have that line, "You are your only enemy."
mhm.
That one I heard today, and I was like, "Oh." Yeah. It reminds me of. Have you ever read William Gibson, Neuromancer?
Mm-mm.
Cyberpunk book? Anyway, the last line in that book is about that. That self-hatred. It's intense. All right. In this album, "The End Is Always Nigh, The End Is Never Now," which you can find on Bandcamp and all the streaming services, of course, and you can follow the band on Dymer Band. So these apocalyptic themes, all of this stuff, there's 4 kind of interludes that are like the 4 horsemen that are in there, which are interesting. And, we are living in times that you definitely can feed into thoughts and feelings of apocalyptic kind of outcomes, whatever. But is there something in like embracing that and going in that direction that actually turns the emotion of it around? Like acknowledging it, kind of like somebody, like I had funeral process in here last week and they were talking about death and like, that's the way we're all going. But a lot of people can deny it. But is there something empowering in these darker visions? I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I mean, I definitely view it in the sense of, just act as though at any point, the cliche of you could die today, like that kind of thing. It's just, there's a million things around us constantly ending and also beginning, and everything, you are just one blip on this whole scale that is everything. And so if you can just embrace the fact that, you are going to end, things around you are going to end, and you don't know when, then it's great. And the funny thing is, like, I think, to go to, the Gospels or Scripture or whatever, it's like, that's literally what it sure seems like Jesus was even saying when you know not the day and the hour. And yet there's this massive faction of Christianity who's absolutely obsessed with predicting the end. And it's like, you guys have completely missed the boat. Like, you you need to be looking around you and figuring out what you can do, despite everything ending, and not hoping that everything ends in the way that you want it to.
It's like my friend Deb. She's an apocalyptimist. Do you know this philosophy? So every day, apocalyptimism is, even though, we're on this path, every day you just do one little thing. One little thing that you find hope in or whatever. And if we all do one little thing every day, then that's apocalyptimism.
Yeah.
She explains it better. And she has a little mini harmonica that she announces it with. It's much better. In the studio in KUNM, Studio A with me today, Tom Burton on drums, James Alexander on bass, Ken Chavez, guitar and vocals, Mark Vasquez, guitar and vocals, and Johnny Mouche on lead vocals. Thank you all so much for coming in here. Can you take us out with a couple songs? And
We sure can.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
This next one's called Rise.
I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. The blades of grass were knives beneath our feet, and ghosts were all we ever seemed to be. But brightly came our memories to me, these unaware and unforgiving feelings. I always thought that heaven would be mine. Now maybe it's not quite that black and white. 'Cause I've always loved the idea of love much more than the reality that comes. I never saw it coming. Never saw it I can't help this feeling as I rise, that maybe heaven's higher than my skies. Hey, maybe there's no place for you and I, until I'm okay with giving up the fight. Oh, I'm giving up. I never saw it coming.
Sheesh Louish. Oh. All right, this next song is in drop D. I always have to announce whenever we go to drop D.
Got a cool sample?
A royalty-free sample. No, dude, I don't think it matters. Yeah. What can I say about this song? This last song I wrote when I was a sad boy. This was one of the first Dymer songs. I think, no, this was the first Dymer song. So there you have it, proto Dymer.
Some lore.
Yep.
All right.
You don't have to share the load. It'll be enough for me. And you don't have to even know. It'll be enough for me. And I will try my own shame since the silence has subdued me. And I will try my own mistake, sticks and stones. Ain't nothing to me. Yeah. Oh, you know you have no place for me. Oh, you know you have no place for me. Is not repaired with my brooding and your blank stare. Something is in the air, cutting corners with your blank stare. Oh, you know you have no place for me. Oh, you know you have no place for me. Oh, you know you have no place for me. Oh, you know you have no place for me. far, too close, too shy, too bold. This time I fold. It's just much easier to be alone. Too far, too close, too shy, too bold. This time I fold. It's just much easier to be alone.
You've been listening to Dymer here on KUNM. Johnny Mouche on lead vocals, Tom Burton on drums, Mark Vasquez on guitar and background vocals, Ken Chavez on guitar and background vocals, James Alexander on bass. And many thanks to Ramon Garcia for engineering and Marshall Broyles for assisting, Jessica Allen for production, and multimedia wizard Renata Bonney. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
You can follow the band on dymerband.com, Instagram under dymerband, as well as Bandcamp. Keep an eye open for that EP later in the year and them popping up on shows here in Albuquerque and maybe coming to Colorado soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.